Hi everyone. So yesterday I spent a long hour on LinkedIn, which is an awful thing to do for your sanity. But one thing that really bothers me, and I know it's a social debate between employers and employees, is the fact that so many people complain about job descriptions, asking for a video editor and social media account manager or marketer, or like a graphic designer and web developer, like some sort of full stack web developer, able to design something, then develop a site. Sometimes it's a video editor and motion designer, things like that. And I realized that I don't share the same viewpoint. As you may know, this channel is made of some specific tutorials, but I'm trying to bring something more, much deeper than software walkthroughs. We've installed the software, open the software, that button does this, here is my affiliate link, like and subscribe. Some people do this way better than I do. I provide some software tips, but I believe the main point of this channel can be missed if you quickly glance over the thumbnails and see introduction to Adobe Premiere and how to add Printful to your Equid store. What I introduce here is the tool agnostic project focused philosophy. So here is a hot take. In 2025, job listings that demand, let's say, a video editor and a social media manager aren't greedy, they are practical. Let me explain why. So first of all, I don't mean to roast anyone, I'm just offering an alternative perspective as a business or project builder. And I know there are abuses and nefarious intents, but in the context of this conversation, I'm speaking about a healthy environment with a fair income. Coming from a background of industrial engineering and music video director, I can easily say that I've been testing and switching tools so many times in 20 years that I can pretty much kickstart any project if that is in my budget. Unless I need some machinery or that requires a level of rocket science expertise in a particular field. And the main takeaway of this video should be the fact that in 2025, especially in the world of AI and big tech, we need to become tool agnostic and mission focused. So what I'm trying to say is that any cameraman should be able to do some video editing and a bit of post-production. Any video editor should be able to do a bit of social media marketing. I don't think it is that much flexibility to ask as part of a single mission. I don't know when this trend of hyper-specializing started, but you can be good and even great at multiple things at once, especially if that is in the same chain of logic. For example, do you really think that Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo were only great in one discipline? Do you really think they would be part of the greatest if they were only able to paint something on a canvas and only do that? No, they were amongst the greatest because they could think outside the box. Paint maybe, but also invent things here and there, and even leave some unfinished works. They were not perfect or anything, but they could take different tools and say, okay, I have an idea, how can I do something as close as I have it in mind with whatever I have at my disposal? And if they need to go out there to gather some plans or forge a specific tool because what they work on has never been created before, they find a way to get this done. Doesn't matter the tool, it's the outcome that matters. They tried so many things people thought they were insane, yet they are the greatest and we still talk about them in 2025. I have partners that have nothing to do initially with content creation or AI, but they learn editing, social media management, AI prompt writing, so their vision goes somewhere. So here is what that means for you. I get that maybe you paid a curriculum for a certain software, or you have a degree in a specific field, and maybe you dream of having a job where you do one particular task and stick to it. For me, it sounds a bit like a rat in a cage, but to each his own. Let's try to give some perspective. In 2025, not all companies or projects require someone editing videos 24/7, or someone only posting on social media. But maybe if there's one person able to do both, then we can provide a full-time job. How many of those complaining actually tried themselves to build a company and made it successful enough to have creative jobs? Most of them did not. They just don't know what it is to be responsible for someone else's salary. Also, keep in mind that outside some movie production or YouTube, for instance, most of the content that we consume is a loss lead, not a product. It's a charge, a negative on the balance, not some sort of grandiose artwork that will pay for itself on its own. It's literally a luxury to have someone dedicated to one specific tool or task like video editing, who never ever does anything else. Unless you work for a movie production or creative agency that can fill a schedule with that particular task. I personally live amongst the most average people. from skate brookies, independent artists, gym coaches, and whatnot. Most of those starting a business on the side know how hard it is to get a project together, let alone making a profit off of it and a living. So we do tons of things and we adapt our toolset depending on the project, or even more specifically, the mission. It's not like every business comes fully developed with a budget or a need for a full-time graphic designer or social media manager. Most successful businesses start with a small team, like 2-3 founders, that will spend as little as possible on the fluff in order to develop and optimize the product. Then, when the product is available, they may or may not have a budget to promote this product or service. But client acquisition is not cheap and can make or break any business. Just to create this video, I had to write a script, film myself, which is a teamwork on some channels, edit some motion design, find some B-rolls, color grade, mix and master the audio, design a thumbnail, find the title, write a description, tags for the SEO, and so on. Then later today, I will have to adapt the website to reflect the tweaks that are necessary to clarify my mission statement of DigiTweaks. And yes, in the same day, I'm a videographer, social media manager, SEO specialist. Is it the best case scenario? Maybe not, but it's the reality most entrepreneurs and small and medium businesses like startups are facing. Obviously, some things are done with the help of AI, like ChatGPT. It can help kickstart ideas or find the correct words and suggest some variations. But ultimately, in a job position, you are not there to make one task. You have tasks to do in order to solve a problem, aka accomplish a mission. You are part of a system and you need to provide a result so that the company can work, make profit, and therefore pay you a part of that profit, aka the salary. I understand that on your profile it can be written video editor, and therefore you clearly signal that you'd like to dedicate yourself to video editing. And you can argue that video editor is not social media manager, which is fine. You can always keep searching for other open positions. Nonetheless, many businesses need more than a video sitting on their computer. They need someone who can produce a video, then post it so there's some noise made on social media platforms about their products and services, so that new client can be acquired, so that at the end of the day, you get, wait for it, paid. Yes, you get paid for a certain mission you've been assigned to. It's a company made of different companions, working together in synergy. The framework is provided, some guaranteed salary is offered, but still you are part of a team of human beings. And unless you provide a clear value within the time spent at work and understand how complex a business is, you become a liability instead of an asset. And if that means you have to switch from Adobe Premiere to make a post here and there, maybe answer some messages on a daily basis to justify your salary, then I think it's perfectly fine. In 2025, with all the AI and the number of cheap gigs available on platforms like Fiverr, if you don't provide a one-stop shop solution for a particular issue, you are limiting your chances of success. What I mean by success is not living your dream life that you have in your head, where unicorns bring you a 7-figure salary to open a single software all year long. What I mean by success is understanding that sometimes businesses are opportunities created by others, paid by others, and that you can be replaced. It's a business, it's a place where people are busy, yet someone gave you the position and you are getting paid for it. You have food in your fridge, a roof over your head, and maybe you can work on your next step forward in life, all while being grateful for your present position. Obviously, if you're not getting paid and only promised visibility, it's another story. Don't get caught in the cycle of the donkey chasing the carrot. Don't get me wrong, you should not either do everything from web design to flushing the toilet and making the coffee while maintaining the server. It's not about multitasking in a lack of sense. It's about multi-tooling, understanding your mission, and whatever the tool you need to accomplish this mission, use it. Doesn't matter if it's Adobe Photoshop or a smartphone, Google Ads or ChatGPT. These are just tools. You can learn new tools. You can combine tools to accomplish different tasks inside your mission. I don't think it's unfair. It's just how the world works in many cases. It's a mission, but it's not impossible. Peace.